Can a Muslim eat the meat of someone who slaughters that doesn't pray? So there's a very in-depth answer for this question. The first thing is, for the person that's slaughtering the animal, they have to be a Muslim. That's the general rule. They have to be a believer, the one that slaughters the animal. Then a person, they're allowed to eat it. If it's not a believer, it's not allowed. That's the general rule. The exception is when you have the Ahl al-Kitab, the Christian or Jewish person, so that's an exception to the general rule. And that's the rule. Sometimes you have a rule that's very wide, that's am, and then you have rules that are specific, that are exceptions. So that's the exception to the rule. The person, they have to be a believer that slaughters, and the exception is for somebody that's a Christian or Jewish, then the person, they can eat that meat that's slaughtered by them, provided the other conditions are correct. Now what happens is, the person, if a person is a murtad, apostate, somebody that's not a believer, then what happens? You can't eat that meat. And then the exception is not there either. The person is not a Christian or Jewish person, but it's a person that's a murtad, that means apostate, that's a disbeliever, and not a Muslim. So therefore it will fall in the default ruling, in the general ruling, that it's not allowed. So that would not be allowed if that's the case. So in the case of somebody that doesn't pray the salat, is that person a disbeliever or not? And the ulama, they had differed on the ruling on that. All the ulama, they say, if a person, they say the salat is not part of the deen, it's something that the person, they don't have to do, they're changing one of the main aspects of the deen. So all of the views of the ulama, the ijma consensus, the unanimous consensus, they say that person is a disbeliever. A person that doesn't pray out of laziness, the school of the Hanbali school, for the most part, they say that that person is a disbeliever because they go by the hadith in Musnad Imam Ahmad, al-ahdu bayn al-iman wal-kufr, as-salat wa man tarakahu wa qad kafar, in one narration. That means a covenant between a believer and a disbeliever is the salat, is the prayer, and if a person, they left it, they have became a disbeliever. So they go explicitly by that hadith, the people that follow that. So in that case, if you follow the ulama in Mecca and Medina, they go by that opinion. The person that doesn't pray is a disbeliever. So if that person slaughters the meat, it's slaughtered by a disbeliever, it's not allowed, because they don't fall in the exception of the Christian or Jewish person, which would be allowed. So that's a ruling that they have. If a person, they go by the other three schools, that say the person that doesn't pray is a fasik, is a disobedient person, not a disbeliever, then it would be allowed. And Allah knows best, and may peace and blessings be upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.